Well, you know, the last time Democrats pushed health care this hard, they lost the House. Tonight, the surest signs yet that Nancy Pelosi is making damn sure that doesn't happen again. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and here's the deal. A health care deal by hook or crook. Because to hear the House Speaker tell it, Democrats' very survival could depend on it. Odd, since it was a similar health care bungee jump that throttled the party a not-so-sweet 16 years ago. Pelosi has said that is because Democrats didn't vote on anything, which is why she ain't dropping this health care vote, which is also why Nancy gives herself an A for effort when asked this past weekend to grade her performance as Speaker, and I agree on that. No one has worked harder to push something so hapless, and never has the Speaker probably felt so lonely. As Politico's John Bresnahan and Jonathan Allen write astutely, Nancy's already lost her most influential ally in the House, John Murtha, because he's dead, and increasingly ethics challenged Charlie Rangel because he's already politically dead, to say nothing of Blue Dogs abandoning her and other anxious party members backing away from her. No wonder Nancy has that crazed nothing to lose look. For now, she herself has nothing to lose. Her seat is safe, even though her speakership eventually could be another matter, as could her party's ability to even decide it. And today, her party, not wanting to talk about it, not one bit, at least not wanting to talk about it with Fox, despite our numerous calls, not a single Democrat willing to come on and chat. But Utah Republican Congressman Rob Bishop is. And just like some Blue Dog Democrats, he's not keen on this health care plan either. But Congressman, they are, with Nancy leading the charge, going full throttle. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's unfortunate, and I hope that they redesign things. Obviously, you know, the president in his State of the Union speech said that people weren't buying this because he didn't explain it well enough. I think the problem is the exact opposite. They did explain it well enough, and people don't want their health care being run by Washington bureaucrats.
All right, but the Blue Dog Democrats with whom I chatted, and we have gotten a couple over the last week or so, but maybe they've been scared out of their wits to talk to us. They've been saying that, look, this just doesn't add up for us. And I suspect rather than risk Nancy's wrath, they're just going to, keep it quiet. But they're not voting for this. Is it your sense that the biggest trouble for Nancy Pelosi, maybe Harry Reid in the Senate, isn't Republicans, it's Democrats?
Clearly, they have to win over some of the people that were not crazy about going there the first time. And once again, I think, what Republicans were saying all over again, let's just start over and find the places that we actually do agree and do something much smaller than that. But that doesn't seem to be what she wants to do. And so it's going to be very tough on her side of the aisle, getting her people to support her.
Congressman, in the political intricacies here, the one thing I'm hearing from a lot of folks, many who do speak off the record to me, they figure voting for something, even if it's defeated, is better than the 93, 94 experience of not voting for anything. So at least they'd have something to stand on. And then say it was Republicans who denied you the opportunity for, fairly priced health care and the whole rest. Is there that logic behind this?
It's a scary logic because not only does government have a problem doing something, once government takes a position, it's very hard to change and pull back from that if you found you went down the wrong path. So this is a very dangerous strategy of saying, look, let's just do something, then we can fix it later. You can't always fix it later. It would be better to take your time and do it right the first time. And I think that's where so many of the moderates within the Democratic Party, that's where they would like to go, and they're having a hard time convincing leadership to do that.
All right, so the latest soap opera development, as you know, Congressman, is that the House votes on what the Senate has already voted on. And then to get the House's wishes and objections in later, they would essentially, if I'm understanding the procedures of your august institution, they would then add that in. How doable is that? How likely is that?
Well, it is doable, and if you have a will of leadership, they will do it. The issue is the procedures they're using were designed to make sure that when we did a budget, that the budget met our policy. It was never designed to try and create policy in the first place. So that's where the abuse and the unprecedented nature takes place. But yeah, it can be done, and that's part of the thing that I think is very scary. It should be scary for Americans.
But when you see someone, if you're ever in a gambling situation and someone is dealing a hand that you suspect is quite strong, even though you think it's got to be a lousy hand or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, then maybe we're missing something. Is there some wisdom, some smart, some insight, some secret that this naive financial anchor is missing?
Well, first of all, I'm coming from Utah where gambling is outlawed, so I don't understand the metaphor. But the reality is, what we should be doing for this country is trying to come up with the right policy and do the policy first. And there are some policy options. They've been thrown out there. The Speaker has not allowed them to be debated in committee or on the floor, but they should be. I think we can find a better alternative that doesn't take health care and put it in the hands of Washington. It puts it where people want it back with themselves and their own doctors. When we said start over again, that's not necessarily something that's bad, especially if you can come up with a better end product.
All right. So you guys don't budge from the start over thing. They don't budge from the we're in knee deep in this. We're certainly not starting over thing. So you guys are no closer right now than the Hatfields and the McCoys, right?
I think the basis of this issue is there are specific philosophical approaches to what government ought to be doing that is a problem. And we haven't gone past that.
Okay. Congressman, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, Nancy Pelosi, again, making it clear that it is a deep